Hey everybody, JC here with another T&I toy review. And for today's review, I'm going to be taking a look at the brand new ThunderCats Classic Panthro figure from Mattel. Now this figure comes in an outer mailer box that's black, that has the ThunderCats logo on the front, the name of the character. Down below it's got the ThunderCats logo and it says it's for adult collectors. On one side you have some artwork for Panthro, on the other side you've got the Cat Slayer. The back is just blank. And then once you take the figure out of the mailer box, you get this standardized packaging we've been seeing with all the ThunderCats figures. You've got the figure clearly displayed. You've got the Sword of Omens on the front there with Lion-O holding it, some artwork with Lion-O. On the side, you have, again, artwork for Panthro. The other side, it just has the ThunderCats logo. And then on the back, more artwork and a brief bio. All right, let's get this open and take a look at what's inside. Okay, so here's a look at the figure outside the packaging along with the other contents. Panthro comes with a number of different accessories, including this Thundrillium Detector, and this seems to be pretty accurate to what we saw in the cartoon. You've got the ThunderCat symbol in the middle of it, and then you've got some black dots around it. It's done with just a gray plastic, and you've got a little red dot down at the bottom for a button. Panthro also comes with the Key to Thundera, which I believe was used to open the Book of Omens, seen in one of the episodes. Panthro and Tigra, if I remember correctly, find it and take it to Lion-O. Mumra tries to steal it. And this seems to be pretty accurate to what we saw in the cartoon. The key is done with a gold metallic paint, and then you've got the ThunderCat symbol up at the top, and you've got this little brown strap. Now this key is made with a very soft rubber type material, so when I took it out of the packaging it was bent, so you might need to take a hairdryer or something to straighten that out. Panthro comes with his signature weapon, the nunchucks. You've got one handle that's red and one that's blue, and they've got the little claws on the end, and this seems to be pretty accurate to what we saw in the cartoon. There's not a lot of paint detail, it's just got the basic blue and the red, and then they're attached with this pretty sturdy chain, so I like this chain that they included with it. Again, it's kind of heavy and sturdy, so I like that. They've also given you a second version of the nunchucks, so you can kind of mimic the spinning move. So you get this red handle, the red handle of it, and what you do, and then you get the blue handle, looks like it's spinning, and it's done with just a soft plastic, and if you got some wash effects, almost semi-translucent plastic for the spinning effect. So I like that. And then what you do is there's a peg on the back side, and you just plug the red handle in there, and then he can hold the red handle, so it looks like he's spinning his nunchucks. The figure comes with one extra left hand, and this hand seems almost redundant. I believe this is supposed to be for holding the spinning nunchucks, but the left hand that comes attached to the figure is almost exactly the same. The only difference is the thumb is more out on that one, so you could really use, this left hand that's attached to the figure for the same thing. I don't think you really need to switch the hands out, but as it is, you do get this extra one. Switching out the hands is easy. You just pull off the hand you want to replace. You've got the little peg on the hand and then the hole on the arm, and then you just plug in the hand you want to replace it with, and it pops right in. And you can see it'll hold the spinning nunchucks effect pretty good. It is kind of heavy, so it does kind of bring his arm down a little bit, but for the most part he holds it pretty good. And then he'll also hold the regular nunchucks without any problem. So for the figure itself, I overall like the sculpting detail. I think the head sculpt looks pretty cartoon accurate. I like how the eyes are painted. And I like the ears, though the ears are done with that kind of soft rubber material, and mine did come out of the packaging a bit bent, so again you might need to take a hairdryer if you want to try and straighten that out. But otherwise I think it looks good. I like the harness piece that he's wearing. You've got the spikes, and those are done with a rubbery type material. This whole harness piece is. And the harness piece is removable. You can unhook it back here and remove it if you want to. Now, I get the feeling that if you do, it might be kind of hard to get it to stay attached. So I don't know if it's really necessary to remove, but if you really want to, you can. You've got the ThunderCats symbol here on his waist, and you've got the darker blue, and I like the texturing here on the dark blue. I like that detailing. And then I like the skin tone. He's got the lighter colors here on his chest and on his face, around his chin and everything. He's got the little spike bracelet on the right arm. He doesn't have one on the left. He does have this little thing around his bicep here, which is done with metallic silver. And then he's got the boots, the little tassels on the back. And he's also got the little divot between his toes, like you see in the cartoon. So Panthro stands about 6 3/4 inches tall. Here's a comparison with the Lion-O figure, and originally I thought Panthro should be bigger than Lion-O, but then I went back and checked, and actually Lion-O is taller than Panthro, so the scale between these two seems to be pretty accurate. Here's a comparison with the Thunder Kittens, and again the scale seems to be pretty good between these three. Here's a comparison with Jackalman and Mumra. And finally, here's a comparison with the 2011 version of Panthro from Bandai. For articulation, you can turn the head to the left and to the right. It's got a little back and forth movement, but not too much. You can get the arm out good, standard ball hinge joint there at the shoulder, has good rotation, has a bicep swivel, single hinged elbow, so it can bend his elbow about that much, has swivels at the wrist and hinges on the hands, so good up and down movement with the hands. Has a midsection joint. Now it's limited a little bit with the chest harness piece. He can only crunch down about that much, but he can actually look back pretty good there. Has a waist swivel. Legs are attached with hinge joints, ball hinge joints, so he can do the splits about that much. He can get his leg forward good, and he can do his leg back about that much. You have a thigh swivel up high, single hinge knee, so he can bend his knee about that much, and then he has hinges on the feet, so back and forth movement, and he does have ankle pivot, and 2 peg holes on the bottom of the feet. Okay, so that's my review. So overall, I like this figure. I like the sculpting detail on it. I like the paint applications, and the accessories are pretty good with it, and I think it's a good representation of the character from the classic cartoon. Now, as it is right now, this is the final ThunderCats figure being released by Mattel. It remains to be seen whether Super 7 will be picking up the license or not. When I talked to them a few months ago at New York Comic Con, they seemed pretty positive of the idea of picking it up. However, I think a lot will depend on how well the Masters of the Universe Classics sell for them before they really decide if they're going to take ThunderCats on. Hopefully, we'll know more in February during Toy Fair. Now this figure has started to ship for those who subscribe to the ThunderCats and got all the figures, and should be available for day of sale here soon on the Matty Collector website. Right now it's listed as coming soon. We'll have a full image gallery up at toynewseye.com. There'll be a link in the video description below. As always, leave a comment. Let us know what you think. If you're so inclined, please like the video. Also, if you haven't already, please follow me on my Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram accounts. I'll have links to those in the video description as well. And until next time, I'll catch you later.